Hey guys, welcome back to Down the Stretch. Today we have another blast from the past. We're going to be looking at former Horse of the Year and champion steer Mark My Word, trained by Richard Azan. He was owned by Elite Bloodstock. I don't have his official amount of races he ran and how many races he won, but he was the 2010 Triple Crown winner, winning the 2000 Guineas, the Jamaica Derby and the St. Leger, and was the first horse since the Viceroy to win the Triple Crown and then win the Super Stakes that same year. He went on to win 3 consecutive Super Stakes, was on target to become the first horse to make it 4 consecutive Super Stakes since his former stablemate Menudo, but he passed away. I think he died of complications with colic, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we're going to have a look at him. He was a yearling purchased in 2008. He was purchased for 1.8 million at the Toba yearling sale. Went on to become champion 3-year-old, champion 4-year-old and up, 2010 Horse of the Year, and inducted into the Jamaican Hall of Fame. We're going to revisit his Triple Crown glory, and then I think I have 2 of his Super Stakes win. I don't have the last one. Some memorable battles with another imposing runner by the name of Commanding Chief. If we remember that horse, who came on the scene late to win the St. Leger and went straight to A1 and had some memorable clashes with Mark My Word. He is one of only 3 horses who won the Triple Crown and then won the Super Stakes that same year. The Viceroy being the first horse, then Mark My Word, and then the great Shiza Manita.
They're off. Stamp of Authority walks out at the back. Heart of a Champion, Awesome, and a Train Tracker Boy. They took off quickly, moving up to take them on early. Mark My Word against the fence, with Awesome and it showing on that lead. Heart of a Champion a length back in second, a neck away on the rail. Mark My Word, the Golden One races back in fourth. Train Tracker Boy moving on their outside, and the gap opens up to the poor starter, Stamp of Authority. They now run past the 5/8 and head to the half mile, with Awesome and it guiding them along by 3 parts of a length. Heart of a Champion sticking right to her tail. Mark My Word edging closer. The Golden One right there. They're grouped up tightly along with Train Tracker Boy. Just about 3.5 lengths separates that bunch. And a gap to Stamp of Authority as they now make their way toward the final 3. Heart of a Champion by a neck, now increasing it to a half a length. Mark My Word trying to stay with him as Heart of a Champion attempts to slip away. Now a length in front as they leave the 5/16. Mark My Word now asked to run him down, but into the lane. Heart of a Champion with the lead. Mark My Word pasted to the rail. The Golden One now will try to get to them further back in third. Train Tracker Boy is a gap back in fourth as they run toward now the furlong pole, with Mark My Word on the fence with that lead. He's opened up 2.5 lengths over Heart of a Champion. The Golden One racing in third. Forget the rest, but Mark My Word and Dick Cardenas will romp the 7th event. They win by 5 or more over the Golden One. Heart of a Champion is third. Fourth, Train Tracker Boy.
After that impressive win, Mark My Word went into the 2000 Guineas as an underdog, facing the Wayne DaCosta undefeated and highly favoured Life Is Just for a Living. They went on to clash in all legs of the Triple Crown, where Mark My Word became a Triple Crown winner.
Last one in cryptogram, field in line for the 36th running of the Jamaica 2000 Guineas, and the colts are off and running. Classy Prospect shows speed along with Cryptogram, Mark My Word. These 3 vie for that lead. Heart of a Champion right up with them along with Life Is Just for Living. These group up tightly. Try a Lawyer is further back. The King and Ion is outside. Colonel Will settled just off the fractions with Global Warming. A gap opens up to Super Center, and trailing the Guineas field is Junior Minister. They've left the 6 and run toward the 5, with Life Is Just for Living now taking on that lead by 3 parts of a length. Heart of a Champion trying to stick with him. Mark My Word waits on them. Just in behind those, Classy Prospect, the King and I, Colonel Wills now moving through horses, Global Warming attached to his outside. Cryptogram racing out wide of Trial Lawyer, Super Center making mild progress, and Junior Minister has never been in it as the field have left the half mile, and the speed will increase up the 7/16th, and Life is Just for Living. Walker lets out a notch, and they go on by a length from Classy Prospect. Mark My Word stalks them a close-up third and looks dangerous as they make their way passing the 5/16th. A gap opens up to Cryptogram. Global Warming, the King and I races down against the rail. Junior Minister has made some late progress, but up front, Life is Just for Living holds on to that lead. Mark My Word now closing into it on the rail. Over on the far side, that's Classy Prospect in the green. Life is Just for Living. And Mark My Word has hit the front from Life is Just for Living. 16th to run in the Guineas. It's Mark My Word. He begins to open up. Life is Just for Living has had it. Mark My Word upsets in the Guineas. Life is Just for Living second. Junior Minister third. Classy Prospect fourth. Cryptogram fifth. Griffiths came off briefly. Reunited now with Cobra. They're off for the 90th running of the Jamaica Derby. Margin Call gets a good start in the center. Life is Just for Living running relaxed early with Margin Call. Gabiwitzo races nearest to us along with Global Warming, Flying Margaret toward their inside as the field head over toward the far rail with Margin Call showing narrowly. Life is Just for Living a reserve second. Mark My Word cruises up now to take those on as they come toward us for the first time. Alfuza the filly races near the rail on her outside. That's Heart of a Champion. Right there in the center of horses. Excellence in the green. Gabiwitzo just on her outside. A break back to Global Warning with Q7. Flying Margaret. Cobra is positioned down against the rail. Just ahead of Cryptogram. In behind those, that's the filly Asantewa. Prince Rohan will be doing his running late as usual. A gap opens up to Rolex ticking along. Only one behind. Train Tracker Boy. The Derby field run away. They're in the clubhouse turn and make their way now toward the final seven with Margin Call setting those fractions under a snug wrap. Mark My Word is 2 lengths down. Life is Just for Living stuck to his outside. Excellence racing up next along with Heart of a Champion. Gabiwitzo now begins a run on the outside getting closer. Global Warming races next, possibly some 8 or 9 lengths off the lead. Alfusia is weighted with. Q7 races up next. Cryptogram in the yellow cap on the outside of Asantewa. Prince Rohan now begins to edge closer. Cobra staying with him just ahead of him. Then Flying Margaret. Rolex a long way lost as the field make their way now toward the turn for home. Just over a half a mile remaining and Margin Call is out in front but only narrowly as they spin into that half-mile turn. Life is Just for Living sent alongside. Mark My Word is tracking them in third and poised to strike. Heart of a Champion and Gabiwitzo race next. A break back to Excellence. Making progress against the fence. That's Global Warming. He now begins a threatening run cutting through horses. Prince Rohan has made good ground and could be a factor in the stretch drive in the Derby as they turn for home. Life is Just for Living. Mark My Word, the Guineas winner. Down against the fence now beginning his challenge. Watch Global Warming. He's against the rail and hanging on to it. Gabiwitzo the filly is on the outside, but Mark My Word has now picked up the Derby run. Inside the final furlong, it's Mark My Word beginning to sprint away. Life is Just for Living has no answers to Mark My Word. He won the 2,000 Guineas. He's going to take the second jewel of the Triple Crown. Mark My Word, a huge winner over Life is Just for Living, Global Warming, Gabiwitzo and Prince Rohan. And 12, Life is last one in, field in line for the 84th running of the RGR Jamaica St. Ledger. They're off 10 furlongs ahead of them. Life is Just for Living breaks well on the rail. Classy Prospect and Global Warming with him. Mark My Word is running right up with the front end early. Heart of a Champion is just in behind the leading group, followed up by Willinston, and Prince Rohan kept off the pace by Shatry. Life is Just for Living on the rail. A narrow leader. Classy Prospect on the outside along with Mark My Word. Global Warming cuts the corner. Heart of a Champion and Williston race next. And Prince Rohan is at the back as Life is Just for Living sets very moderate fractions on the run toward the back stretch. Leading up by a length and a piece. Global Warming reserved there in second. Williston and Classy Prospect next. There goes Mark My Word edging closer. Heart of a Champion is racing some 7 lengths off that lead. And a break back to Prince Rohan as they've taken the back stretch and run away with 6 furlongs. Life is Just for Living maintains the lead by almost 2 lengths over Global Warming. Williston now begins to pick up and joins Global Warming. They share second. Mark My Word overtaking Classy Prospect on the outside. Then Heart of a Champion, and the gap opens up to Prince Rohan. He'll have to run at them late as they run away toward the half mile. Life is Just for Living attempting to go gate to wire in the ledger. Leaves the half mile with the lead. Global Warming in close attendance. Mark My Word and Classy Prospect now asked to pick it up. In behind them Williston, 6 off the front end. A length back to Heart of a Champion and a driven Prince Rohan at the back. But Mark My Word now challenges the leader. Life is Just for Living with 5/16 remaining. 3 lengths back to Global Warming. Classy Prospect on the outside. They swing into the lane and the battle is on in the ledger. Mark My Word and Life is Just for Living in a tussle for it. Global Warming left back on the rail. Further back to Classy Prospect and Heart of a Champion, but Mark My Word now snatches the lead at the furlong pole from Life is Just for Living, and Mark My Word is opening up. Could we have another Triple Crown winner here at Caymanas Park? It will be the 16th in Jamaica, the 10th at Caymanas Park, and Mark My Word wins the Triple Crown. Life is Just for Living once again settles for...
After capturing the Triple Crown, it was now left to be seen if Mark My Word could hold his own against older horses. So that question would be answered in the Owen Silvera Memorial Cup.
Field in line for the Owen Silvera Memorial Cup. They're off. Fair start. River Styx races wide. Minister of Justice right there. Skittle Queen in between them. Mark My Word is running also in between horses, more toward the center of the course as they pass the 7. Shanghai Pass is making improvement near the rail. Heart of Gold races further back. Ad Infinitum is racing next with only 1 behind. Stable companion Regal Sensation. But they're in a fairly tight group. Just about 7 lengths separates the field as they run the back stretch. And Georgina Surgeon has Skittle Queen on the lead. Shanghai Pass. Mark My Word right there on the outside of Shanghai Pass. Heart of Gold tracks them close enough in 4th. Ad Infinitum now begins a run as they make their way toward the half-mile marker. A length and a piece back to Minister of Justice. Regal Sensation showing mild improvement on the fence as they run the half-mile turn further back to the trailing River Styx. The pace has increased. The Shanghai Pass. Mark My Word now challenging him for the lead. Skittle Queen is watchful in 3rd. Just 3 lengths off it as they go blasting past the 3. Heart of Gold is ridden hard on the outside and asked to make up the deficit. Minister of Justice now begins a run on the outside. Ad Infinitum pushed hard by the rider, but they've turned for home at the top of the lane, and the Triple Crown winner Mark My Word has cruised into the lead from Shanghai Pass. Minister of Justice now will try to run him down, but Mark My Word is out in front and in control at the furlong pole. Cardenas now getting a bit busy and cracking him once or twice with the right hand stick, and the Triple Crown winner is powering away and showing his class. Mark My Word eased in the end, wins by a wide gap over Minister of Justice Shanghai Pass. Regal Sensation and Skittle Queen in a photo in behind.
So after dominating the Owen Silvera Memorial Cup and proving that he is a class act, his next objective was to face the defending Super Stakes champion Ombre in the Super Stakes and try to become the 2nd horse to win the Triple Crown and the Super Stakes in the same year, a feat only done by the Viceroy at that time.
They're off for the 2010 Super Stakes. The grey, He's Really Okay in the centre, got a good start. Umbre is running on the rail. Mark My Word is travelling smoothly. The Gov moves up now to tackle He's Really Okay. So they pass this for the first time, and He's Really Okay, the grey, moves up to set those splits. Umbre racing next and weighted with down against the fence. Mark My Word draws alongside him. The Gov racing just in behind him as they turn, leaving the mile pole. Rum Talk races further back in the blue with the white sleeves. There goes Von Almighty drawing alongside. Heart of Gold moving up to take theirs on. Prince Rowan settle down in behind them. Go My Robin and Major Maya race next as the rest of them take to the back stretch. Sledge is running just on the inside of Alfusia. Running Loose is next. And River Styx brings up the rear. Down the back stretch in the Super Stakes, just 6 furlongs remaining, and he's really okay. Settle down on that lead, leads by a length and a piece. Umbra stalking and looking ominous already. 5 lengths back to the grey, rather to Mark My Word, the grey, the Gov just in behind him. A gap to Von Almighty racing ahead of Rum Talk. Heart of Gold is next as they leave the 5. Prince Rowan, they're all strung out in behind. Go My Robin, Major Maya, and Running Loose almost form the line of 3. Sledge is next, then Alfusia and River Styx left at the back. The field leave the half mile. They run toward the 7/16th. The crowd downstairs now beginning to roar as Umbra dictates terms, attempting to go all the way as he leaves the 3. Mark My Word, the 3-year-old now asked to attack and beginning to make gains at the 5/16th. The Gov is driven along. He's really okay, has faded back into 4th, but they're into the lane, and it's Mark My Word who kicks. Umbra left back on the rail. The Gov now will have to run the 3-year-old down as they make their way toward the furlong pole. Mark My Word gone right to that rail and getting cracks in the right hand stick. Now Cardenas switches it neater to the left, and it's the 3-year-old. He won the Triple Crown. Can he win the Super Stakes and emulate the feat of the Viceroy? He's going to do it. Mark My Word wins the Super Stakes. Umbra is second. The Gov is third. Heart of Gold is fourth. Rum Talk fifth.
In the next season, after suffering some losses going shorter than his preferred distances, he went back to 9 furlongs in the Viceroy Trophy and showed that when it comes to going a distance of ground, Mark My Word was at the top of his game.
Field in line. They're off 9 furlongs. Fair start. Burst of Energy takes off quickest on the far side. Go My Robin chasing early. Heart of Gold is there. Mark My Word travelling smoothly just there against the fence. Followed up by Von Almighty, and at the back in the green cap, that's Prince of Peace. Burst of Energy dictates, but races wide of Go My Robin. Heart of Gold and Mark My Word now run as a team in behind. Von Almighty is next, possibly 5.5 lengths off that lead. Almost joined now by Prince of Peace in the green cap. Coming away toward the final 6 furlongs, and Burst of Energy. The chasers, Mark My Word, getting closer and now actually picking up that lead. Go My Robin in between horses. Heart of Gold there too. Burst of Energy is now left back into 4th. Prince of Peace making some headway. 5.5 off the front end, almost joined by Von Almighty. 4.5 furlongs remaining, and Mark My Word travelling smoothly with that lead by almost 2 lengths, now opening it up over Heart of Gold as they quicken leaving the half mile. Burst of Energy trying to go in chase now. Prince of Peace hustled up on the rail. Von Almighty left out of it, and Go My Robin will have to produce a miracle from there as the leaders now burst past the 3 with Mark My Word travelling strongly on the lead. Burst of Energy now trying to get to him as they leave the 5/16th. Heart of Gold under a drive. Prince of Peace further back, ridden hard. Then a break back to Von Almighty, and forget Go My Robin, but Mark My Word has now been asked to quicken up as Burst of Energy comes for him on the outside. Mark My Word beginning to respond to the rider's urgings. A furlong to run. He holds a 2.5 length lead over Burst of Energy. They race toward the 16th pole, and Mark My Word and Omar Walker hold on to the advantage and begin to increase it. Mark My Word an easy winner. Burst of Energy second. Good run from him. Close between Von Almighty and Heart of Gold.
They next went for the Eros Trophy at 7 furlongs, trying to see if his class would pull him through, but he ran straight into a horse that looked like she was on the verge of becoming a super horse, a horse by the name of Run Run, a horse who had her career cut short due to injury, but boy, was she a wonder to watch.
Field in line for the Eros Trophy. 7 furlongs thereof. Even start. Minister of Justice takes off quickly. There goes Classy Prospect producing usual speed. Classy Prospect grabs that lead. Ron moving in chase and position right there a length back against the railway. Watch closely by Mark My Word as they run the back stretch. 2 lengths behind him, Minister of Justice and the Gov cruising at the back. They're all in with a chance at this stage. 5/8 of a mile to run, and Classy Prospect continues to lead up. Ron now 3/4 of a length down. Mark My Word continues to run close to them in third. The Gov has made good progress as they arrive at the half mile, and Minister of Justice is just 4 3/4 off that lead as they turn for home in the Eros Trophy and head past the 7/16. The Classy Prospect joined by Ron. Mark My Word continue to be rated with as they leave the 3/8 spool. The Gov now comes under a ride and looks for a run right against the fence and gets it. Cuts the corner as they leave the 5/16th. Minister of Justice racing in behind them, but the field coming to the lane, and already the imported Ron has grabbed the lead and taken command. The Gov will try to chase over on the fence. Mark My Word is in the center. Classy Prospect has cried enough. Minister of Justice under the left-hand stick is out wide, but it's Ron. Having a peep over his shoulder, Shane Ellis. Ron in charge with a 16th to run. The Gov is closest pursuer, but he needs to make up some 3 lengths, and Ron won't give him a chance. Ron wins the US Trophy over the Gov. Minister of Justice nosing out Mark My Word for third.
This season brought forth a late blooming, massive chestnut colt who would go on to be the main nemesis of Mark My Word. His name was Commanding Chief. He missed the Guineas, made a very auspicious debut, skipped the Derby, but then went into St. Leger. Let's have a look at that now.
Anxious moments for all. They're off for the St. Leger. Technomotor gets a good start with Jet Setter. Nifal as expected shows speed and comes away running for that lead. Right marker is over on the rail, travelling pretty quickly. Technomotor slotted in between them. Luscious racing wide along with Sweet Trail as they head into the clubhouse turn. That's the first here. Big Man Boyu not far off those leaders. Jet Setter is there. Commanding Chief toward the outside. Caridad gets a good spot on the fence as they leave the mile marker. In behind those, that's Erasmo and Cold Ground left at the back. Continuing to run the clubhouse turn, the final part of it, and they now arrive at the 7, and it's Nifal with that lead. Sweet Trail moving up now to tackler. Technomotor racing down on the rail, hidden in between them. That's Luscious as they take to the back stretch. Right marker is 6 lengths off that lead. Commanding Chief kept to the outside of Jet Setter in the red as they go slipping past the 6. Caridad has some work to do. So too Big Man Boyu now asked to accelerate on the outside. Awesome Wildcat races up next. A gap to Erasmo and Cold Ground Best Forgotten as they now run past the 5 and head to the half mile. The tempo should increase, and Technomotor now comes up to challenge Nifal for the lead, and Technomotor and Nifal match strides. A half a mile remaining. There goes Big Man Boyu with an aggressive rush on the outside. Commanding Chief in a good spot right there, and these are the main contenders as they now run toward the 3, and Big Man Boyu has taken charge. Technomotor being ridden down on the inside. Commanding Chief looking a threat as they make their way passing the 5/16th. It's a Big Man Boyu. He'll turn into the lane. Commanding Chief now on his outside, and the race is on in the Leger, and it's Commanding Chief with the advantage over Big Man Boyu. Commanding Chief and Paul Francis, they run toward the furlong pole. Big Man Boyu attempts a rally, switch to the outside. Jet Setter further back along with Caridad. Erasmus shaken up in between horses. Cold Ground has made good ground from the back, but it's Commanding Chief, his third run and his third win, and he takes a classic. It's the St. Leger. It's horse Cold Ground looks to snatch second from Big Man Boyu, Caridad, then Erasmo and Jet Setter.
After dominating his age group, his next assignment was to face older horses for the first time in the Nigel B. Nunes Memorial Trophy.
They're off. Technomotor gets away, running for that lead. Prince Rowan left back on the rail. Commanding Chief running just in behind Technomotor. Little Wasp moving up to try and take Technomotor on. Prince Rohan further back against the rail, below the waist in between horses. Umbra settled off that lead, and Heart of Gold now in their battle with Prince Rohan at the back of the field as they make their way out of the clubhouse turn and rush past the 7. Technomotor attacked by Little Wasp. They've opened up a gap. Umbra on the outside of Commanding Chief. They run together as a team. Further back some 6 lengths to below the waist, joined by Heart of Gold, and Prince Rohan outsped a long way last as they run the back stretch and head toward the 5. The duel up front continues. Little Wasp and Technomotor. Umbra has cut into that lead. He's only 2.5 lengths back as they leave the 5. A break of 2.5 lengths more to Commanding Chief, now asked to make progress as they run to the half mile. A huge gap to Heart of Gold. Below the waist out of it, and forget Prince Rohan from there as they now run toward the 7/16th. They're beginning to group. Umbra on the outside now gets his nose in front, and Umbra sets sail. Commanding Chief pouncing already on the outside. It's a 2-horse race at this stage as they rush past the 3 with Commanding Chief taking over from Umbra. A break back to Little Wasp. Technomotor looks to have nothing left at this stage. Further back to Heart of Gold, and we have on the outside below the waist Prince Rohan making late progress as usual on the fence, but the St. Ledger winner, Commanding Chief, has taken charge, running toward the furlong pole. Umbra has no answers. Commanding Chief looks to have crippled the field. Prince Rohan is running on in behind horses, but it's Commanding Chief, the St. Ledger winner, and Paul Francis inside the final 16th. Commanding Chief will keep his unbroken record intact. Commanding Chief wins easily. Prince Rohan comes from way back of horses to finish second over Umbra and Technomotor.
The stage was now set. Could Mark My Word defend his title against this powerful youngster, Commanding Chief, in the Super Stakes?
They're all set to go. They're off for the Super Stakes. Classic Pro gets a good start. He's on the far side as they're coming past us for the first time. Technomotor now moving up to go for that lead. Commanding Chief in a good position on the outside. Umbra held together in between horses. Prince Rohan racing down against the rail. Mark My Word, not too far of those. Ovation races further back with Heart of Gold in the Gulf. Cold Ground has only one behind. It's Erasmo as the Super Stakes field enter the clubhouse turn and run toward the 7. Technomotor, as expected, has the lead by 2 lengths. Classic Pro chasing from second. Commanding Chief settled back in third. Mark My Word moving up to get in touch with Commanding Chief. Umbra right there on the rail. A gap opens up to Prince Rohan. He will be running late as usual. Ovation in behind. Heart of Gold races on the inside of the Gov. That's the grey. Erasmo is next, and a Cold Ground already feeling the heat at the back as the Super Stakes field run toward the final 5. Technomotor pressed now by Classic Pro. Commanding Chief, Mark My Word, and Umbra begin to group up, and they edge closer all the while on the run to the half mile. A huge gap away. That's Heart of Gold racing down near the rail as the lead has now come away with a half a mile remaining and into the turn, and Commanding Chief now strikes for home. Mark My Word moving after him just a half a length down, and the race now begins to develop as they come racing past the 3/8 pole. The 2 horses battling. Mark My Word on the outside of the 3-year-old Commanding Chief. They have drawn away from Umbra, Technomotor. The rest all hopeless at this stage. They're into the lane in the Super Stakes. Mark My Word on the outside. Commanding Chief in the white noseband on the rail. But Mark My Word, the horse of the year, has the advantage. Commanding Chief trying to fight on down the stretch toward the furlong pole. It's Mark My Word in the Super Stakes. He has the advantage over the younger Commanding Chief. Mark My Word, a 16th remaining. He continues to fight off Commanding Chief, who rallies on the rail, but Mark My Word is big and he wins the Super Stakes. Commanding Chief second, good performance. Cold Ground, the surprise, is third. Heart of Gold fourth, Technomotor fifth.
So Mark My Word defended his title and proved that he was the best stayer in the land. Commanding Chief, the youngster, lost nothing in defeat. So even though Mark My Word and Commanding Chief put on a brilliant show, another horse caught the attention of the racing public in the Imported Mile, an foreign invader by the name of Emperor Hall. Let's have a look at the Imported Mile.
Field in line. They're off. So Fawn gets away on the far side with Little Wasp. Casanova Boy, the grey, shows good early dash. They're chased up in the orange and yellow sleeves by Fluffy as they now come flashing past the 7. And it's Savon, a narrow leader. Mayfair moving up now to challenge near the rail. Emperor Hall has also made good progress just on the inside of the grey Casanova boy. Razor Ruckus on the inside of Fluffy racing out wide. Priceless Beauty is right there. Little Wasp hidden from view, tucked in between horses and trailing the field. It's Magnificent as they come away now toward the half mile. Out in front, Savon leading narrowly over Mayfair, pasted to the fence. Casanova boy watching them from a close position. Emperor Hall right there too on the inside as they swing into that turn. Priceless Beauty and Razor Ruckus, Fluffy joining those two. Magnificent just in behind them, and Little Wasp has no sting at the tail of the field as they run now passing the 3/8 pole. Savon pushed out, trying to slip away. Casanova boy in hot pursuit with Emperor Hall and Magnificent. Mayfair on the rail, overtaken by Fluffy as they're about to turn into the lane. Priceless Beauty toward the centre. Razor Ruckus on the outside with a lot to find from there as they're now at the head of the stretch, and Emperor Hall grabs the lead with 3/16 remaining. Savon fighting on near the rail. Casanova boy running on the spot in the centre. Magnificent out wide, but down the stretch past the furlong pole, and this Emperor Hall is a classy sort. He's right away from them and tearing them apart. What a performance by Emperor Hall. He wins, and wins easily in the end by a huge gap over Magnificent. Tight between Casanova boy and Savon. Savon possibly just ahead of Casanova boy.
So the stage was now set for the Harry Jackson Memorial Cup for these 3 brilliant looking thoroughbreds. Mark my word, trying to defend his champion steer title, or would the young commanding chief turn the tables, or the very impressive imported colt Emperor Hall spoil the show? Let's have a look at the Harry Jackson Memorial Cup over 12 furlongs.
Mark my word goes in, field in line for the 49th running of the Harry Jackson Memorial Cup. Starter holds them. Now he lets them go for the Harry Jackson. Mark my word breaks wide near the stands. Emperor Hall gets a good start in the centre. Technomoto also tugging through, wanting that lead. Commanding Chief is held off the fractions as they now pass the quarter pole for the first time and head toward the stands, and it's Technomoto now, the rider, having a peep between his legs with that advantage. Emperor Hall is settled down in second, some ways off Technomoto. Commanding Chief racing in the middle of runners. Von Almighty down against the rail. Mark my word on the outside, and Heart of Gold just trails. Technomoto passes us now under Dick Cardenas and a tight rein. All of 6 to 7 lengths ahead of Emperor Hall. Commanding Chief running in third. Von Almighty there, the rail in fourth. Mark my word edging closer, and a Heart of Gold against the fence as they've left the mile, and a Technomoto bounces easy and increases the lead over Emperor Hall. They're all waiting on Technomoto to fold up. Commanding Chief is on the outside of Von Almighty. Mark my word stalks them further back, and the last of all remains Heart of Gold as they've taken to the far side, and once again he did it in the Derby. Cardenas trying to slip the field on Technomoto. A huge lead established. Emperor Hall way back in the distance in second. Commanding Chief 2 lengths in behind him in third. Mark my word, another 2 lengths down as the field strings out. A gap of 6 or 7 lengths opens up to the pair of Heart of Gold joining Von Almighty, and they share last. Technomoto leaves the 5 with that lead. Still a huge one. Emperor Hall now asked to eat into it. So too Commanding Chief, and Mark my word, these 3 in a line, and they begin to close in on the early leader Technomoto. A huge gap to Heart of Gold needing a miracle. So too Von Almighty. The tempo will increase, and they now arrive at the 7/16th, and Technomoto has folded like a dead bird. Mark my word on the outside, challenging Emperor Hall. Commanding Chief, the youngster of the group, now trying to close a gap in behind. Forget Technomoto doing all his running already. A break back to Heart of Gold and a Von Almighty, but it's Mark my word, the horse of the year with that lead. Emperor Hall down against the fence. The youngster Commanding Chief left back on the outside in the orange silks, but it's Mark my word and Winston Griffin Griffiths. They arrive at the 316th with the lead. Emperor Hall trying hard to run him down. Commanding Chief has cried enough. Technomotor is left back against the fence, but it's Mark My Word and the old-timer Winston Griffiths have opened up an unstoppable advantage inside the final 16, and Mark My Word will win the 49th running of the Harry Jackson Memorial Cup under Winston Griffiths. A distance back to Emperor Hall, then Technomotor, and a disappointing run from Commanding Chief.
So Mark My Word dominated and showed why he was the best steer in the land. And when it came to two-turn races, he was unstoppable. He went on to defend his Super Stakes title the next year. I can't find any footage of that. So he won the Super Stakes 3 consecutive years. He then, as I mentioned before, passed away the following year. But it's good to have a look back at these local legends of horse racing here at Caymanas Park. And today's episode was Mark My Word. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. And as usual, be safe.